Tony Davis.
Tonie Hauser, my man.
Tony Show.
We're
Episode?
back.
Episode?
20-something, 23, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Yay!
It is.
We're
Yes,
getting
yes,
closer
yes.
to I think 25 in the party.
Yeah, it's going to be a big party.
Yep.
There are several event planners already making over hours to get this party going. Yeah.
We've got a budget, we've got everything, yeah.
Yeah.
When we get to 24, they'll say, no more Tony.
I think if Redgate will see what we've planned and they see the expenses, they will pull the plug. There will be no 25.
Exactly.
No.
This is what we risk.
Yeah, that's
Be a small party.
Yeah,
just
small party.
Refined.
Yeah.
A little cup of tea or something.
But someone who really need to get invited to our party is, of course,
Phil
Mr.
Factor.
Phil Factor. Yeah, the
We
number
have
one author.
Yes, and we have a classic Phil Factor piece, I would say.
It is. It's a really good
Simple
one.
safeguards for PowerShell scripting with Flyway.
Yeah, and Phil just likes to write extra additions to good software. And in this case, he's extending the Flyway capabilities of running scripts. And he describes it PowerShell scripting, but I think when we get to the bottom of this article, the audience will agree that you can use it for every script. But he will say it's nice to use scripts, but it can be safer.
Yes, I mean this is it. So if you're using PowerShell scripts or Bash scripts or JavaScripts, just generally, they're powerful scripting languages. You want to do this securely, and the way this extends to Flyway is if you're using these scripts to run processes as part of your pipeline.
As a callback.
As a callback. Because if you do that, those scripts will have access to various parts of your Flyway project, environment variables, and so on and so forth. So this is not about security ordering or anything. It's just about some security best practices that a developer might introduce if they are using these scripts as callbacks to say, this script is trusted. I know where, nobody's tampered with it. No, nothing nasty's in there. We trust it.
Yeah, so I think that the term you're looking for is immutable. So the script is not mutated by anyone.
Nefarious actor, yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
man
exactly
in
right.
the middle. Yeah.
So I mean, the diagram tries to sum it up. You have a Flyway project, and you have your migration files, obviously, and Flyway runs and validates those. But you're using callbacks and these PowerShell or Bash or whatever callbacks. And it's also running those. But what sort of validation checks do we want on those? So what Phil shows you how to do is to run a couple of preliminary processes, which is there anything nasty in here? Are there any of these commands that are typically we know can be used with malicious intent? Let's just do a sniff test on them.
Yeah, well,
and if everything's fine, you sign the files with GPG.
Yeah, so the sniff test, sorry that I interrupted you, but the sniff test is regex, trying to find out
regex test, yes.
Stuff like invoke this, open that, stuff you really need to know.
That data over there.
Transfer that money to Tonie. The stuff
Transfer that money to Tonie's account. That sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It's looking for the sort of PowerShell functions that you could use in slightly dubious ways. Yes.
Yes. So, but they can be extended to, of course, other things it will sniff for, right?
Yeah. Exactly. So this is an example. He just shows you a few things you could check for using regex. Regex can't find everything. But,
okay, and then
sign the files, and then before you run a migrate, you go, has this file changed?
Yeah. So find and sniff, sign it, get a signature for that, and verify that signature just before the migrate runs. That's the whole idea. Yeah.
And I said nothing. Nobody's tampered with that.
But
it can run.
There's only one concern, because this verify files will run in this example as before migrate.
As a callback.
As a callback. So it's actually, the callback is checking if the callbacks are safe So what if I just put an unsafe callback before that check callback?
I don't think anybody's nasty enough to come up with that idea. I mean, except you. Yes, no, it's a very good point. It's a very good point.
It's a classic security oversight. It's not.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah. You're checking callbacks of a callback. How do you check the callback that's doing the checks without getting too labyrinthine? But
and also, it's simple. The solution, Tony. Don't worry. The solution is simple.
I'm fretting, and you're going to tell me how to deal with this.
It's simple.
Easy.
It's easy. If you just use Flyway in a pipeline, you can run and fill mentions that briefly
just below the diagram.
article.
Yes, these checks don't make sense, and they can be built into automated into existing pipelines.
Yeah, so don't do the verify files before migrate, but do them before migrate, but not in the callback, but in a PowerShell script that runs in the pipeline before migrate. So it will check all the scripts against the signature it comes with, if it's safe and sound to run. And
so it's a separate secure process that says, this is fine. It's all trusted. It hasn't been tampered with.
Yeah.
But you can go ahead with your Flyway process.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Okay. That makes perfect sense.
Okay. Well, cool. Then we're done. We can go home.
But yes, with that excellent additional point, this is what the article shows. So if you scroll down a little bit, it just shows you he provides these little PowerShell functions that sign the files, verifies those files that you run before the migrate, or like you say in your separate preliminary process or whatever you want to do it. And then the sniff test.
Yeah.
His code just checks for that sort of stuff. So invoke web request, start this process, do this slightly dubious fit. Do you know what I mean? It's looking for you can extend it. It's just showing you how to do it.
Yeah. Transfer money.
Just giving you a start of 10, really.
So,
yeah.
Okay.
I like the article. It's just like it's a few good practices you can adopt as developers if you are using quite powerful whatever scripting language you're using, Java, Bash, PowerShell. Have a think about how you can make sure this is they've not been tampered with. They haven't been like you're validating that these are okay before you run them.
Yeah, well, I really like the thinking of this addition to get more immutable artifacts in your pipelines. So it will just upgrade your callback scripts to immutable artifacts, immutable callback scripts.
Yeah. And you could extend this to not just callbacks, I suppose. Any sort of batch script you run as part of to automate whatever task you need to run in your pipeline.
Cool. Well, with that, episode 23 is also
have a read of the article. I think you'll find it interesting if you do this sort of thing in a Flyway development.
It is an interesting article.
Give us your feedback.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, give us your feedback. Of course, that can be like and subscribe this video. We never do this stuff, but we can do that.
We should do this.
Yeah, we should do this. Yeah, welcome to the Tonie Show. Give us a thumbs up if you like this video. We never do that stuff. Why? What? We need. We are bad.
We're never going to get to 25 unless we know the basics. Do you know what I mean? Amateur hour.
Welcome to Tonie's Amateur Hour. No, I think we have to pull the plug ourselves. That's maybe better.
Thank you, Tonie. Until next time.
Oh, sorry. Well, you were gone, but you're here again. Thank you. Until episode 24.
24. See you later.